Are the aliens going to attack the world? Are we really in danger? Or is this just another hoax? And what is Project Bluebeam? Let's talk about it. My name is Gergő. I hope you are well, and if you are new to the channel, then welcome, greetings, namaste, I'm glad you are here. And welcome to episode number 31, Predictions 2023, Part 3, Fake UFO Invasion. So this is a big one, guys. This is a very big one, and I'm super excited for today's episode. I put together a lot of information for you in today's video, and if you stay with me till the end, you will be really surprised and your mind just will blow up, probably as mine did while I put this together. So this is super important, as I said, and we're gonna talk about the recent news. We're gonna talk about Project Bluebeam, what that is. Is there gonna be a real invasion? I mean, how would we know that, right? So, or this is something fake thing again, or some hoax, and what's the reason behind it, and why would anyone do that? So today's video will answer all of these questions, but let's go one by one. And first we start with memes. The internet is full of memes about UFOs. One of my favorite was a picture with 4 different pictures in it, which said 2020, the year of the virus, 2021, the year of the vaccine, 2022, the year of Ukraine and Russia and war, 2023, the year of UFOs. Okay, but it didn't happen yet, so, and we are already in June. So what's gonna happen? This is a good question. Now, let's see some of the news, what they say to us. Here is the first one. New York Post. Spaceship of non-human origin spotted near US-Mexico border. UFO expert. Okay. Here is another one. I'm not sure from who, but UFO wars and China and then shut down and all of that. Okay, very interesting. Here is another one again, that how many unidentified flying objects, UFOs, were shut down, different days, different locations. By the way, why do they shut them down straight away? If it's really an alien extraterrestrial visitor, why do they shut them down? How do they know they're dangerous? How do they know that they're not friendly? A lot of interesting questions. And again, as in the previous 2 episodes, we go back to Q. What he says? Fake news hiding the truth? Knowingly? We the people. Enjoy the show, Q. Okay, here is a recent one from Elon Musk, literally a few days ago, 24th of June. The most entertaining outcome, as if we were in a movie, is the most likely. Okay, he knows something. And when it comes to movies, I can think probably the Independence Day, that's one of the big one, or the X-Files from my childhood, Mulder and Scully, the agents and the UFOs and all the mysterious stories around them, you know. And again, let's go back to Q because he might give us some answers. So we talk about movies, and here is a good one. What makes a movie good? Great actors. Q. Here is another one. Sometimes a good movie can provide a lot of truth and or background. Official secrets. Relevant today? Enjoy the show. Q. Here is another one. People kill people. You are watching a movie. They want you weak, slave, sheep, distraction. Q. Okay, here is one that he posted a quote from Napoleon. Never interfere with an enemy in the process of destroying himself. And Q said, these people are stupid. Enjoy the show. Q. So Q mentions the show, enjoy the show, the movie so many times. Here is another one. There's a picture here about Q and says the greatest military intelligence operation of our time, and then back channels are important. Attacks will only intensify. You attack those who threaten you the most. Enjoy the show. Q. So again, enjoy the show. Here is another one. He posted this, looks like a movie poster, Panic in DC, in theaters now. Enjoy the show. Q. Again. And this is probably the most important one. And I think this is about the UFO attack as well. So he says, we are fighting for life. We are fighting for good. We are at war. Not everything will be clean. Scare necessary event. Do you trust the US military? Do you trust the chain of command? Have faith. We are in control. Patriots, Patriots Day. Have faith. You were chosen for a reason. You are being provided the highest level of intel to ever be dropped publicly in the history of the world. Use it. Protect and comfort those around you. Where we go one, we go all. Q. So, scare necessary event. So there's something necessary which will be scary. What can that be? I mean, I can only think of one thing, and that's the UFO attack. So, it's already quite mind-blowing in my opinion, but I'd like to show you a couple of videos. This is from different news channels and from some documentaries as well, so I just put it together for you and mixed it together into one video, and we continue after, but this will be also very interesting. Check it out.
There's a new video this morning that some say may be proof we're not alone in the universe. A UFO in the form of a bright light is seen descending over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The video is said to be taken over the weekend. Then suddenly the light shoots up into the sky. There you see it. Another video from a different angle appears to show the light doing the same thing.
This seems potentially like one of the biggest stories of my lifetime. And I don't care if it's about UFOs or whatever you call it. Something that we don't understand is getting very close to our military aircraft, and the government isn't responding adequately, and I hope you keep sounding the alarm on this.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. It's rotating.
I think it will take congressional hearings to get to the bottom of all this.
Can you tell us, have unidentified flying objects been seen?
Well, sure. We have lots of reports about what we call unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Just a few days ago, the Pentagon confirmed that a 2019 video of a UFO sighting is actually real. It was a UFO.
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill Neely explains this one.
Hi, Alison. Well, this is quite a story, and it comes from the man who headed Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years. Chaim Eshed is making the extraordinary claim that the United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years. Not immigrants, but extraterrestrials. He has called them the Galactic Federation of Aliens, and he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria.
It's a mind-blowing situation. For the public, it's like, oh, a conspiracy theory, it's entertaining. But if you're actually in a responsible position and you find out that there's a whole secret government program that you don't know about, it's a shock.
This report comes from a shadowy Pentagon department that was shut down in 2012.
The disclosure movement has been hijacked by people parroting the narrative and the script being written by these black projects. I would say 90+% of everything that's going to come out is false.
The most widely seen UFO right now is not alien, it's actually ours.
It's a great cover story for all kinds of criminal activities. Blame it on the aliens, right?
If we are being visited by interdimensional beings, we should know about it.
This has the big disadvantage of the truth being much more unbelievable than the fiction.
It's the crash retrievals that are the Rosetta Stone for solving the UFO cover-up.
The implications of this is the difference between extinction level civilization versus one that's going to take off to the stars.
Everyone wonders why this conservative Republican president named a five-star general, Eisenhower, said on his last speech to the nation as he left office, "Beware the military-industrial complex."
We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
He wasn't talking about his brethren in the military rank and file.
No, he said a technological elite in control of it.
We must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite.
People don't realize that Eisenhower, on his watch, lost control of the technology transfer issue around ET spacecraft. They circled the wagons and cut him out. So that's where I get into the Majority Intelligence Committee, MAJIC. It's pronounced MAGIC, ironically, or not ironically. And that is a blend of both corporate and government programs. And I've met with a number of them who are involved at that level. And they all have this agenda to want to control the world through one calamity after another. And the big one they've been planning is to host sort of an alien threat from outer space. You know, Werner von Braun back in the 70s on his deathbed told a member of my team that there was a long-term agenda to hoax a threat from outer space so that sort of the uber global elite, who are really fascists, wanted to take over the planet and unite humanity, not in love and peace or spiritual development or anything nice, but around a fearsome sort of police state conditions, and that they would go through a number of protocols to do that. First, there would be, of course, the Cold War, which they would wind down, replace it with global terrorism, and then global financial chaos. And then the big one, which is the one that they're working on most, that's been very covert in these unacknowledged special access projects, is this hoaxed alien threat. All of this is basically a dress rehearsal for what's coming, and people need to wake up.
Okay, so we already know a lot. So we know that this is planned by other men. This is not extraterrestrials, UFOs, little green or silver beings or whatever. This is planned by the government, by the UN, by the NASA, by the CIA. So it's quite interesting. And by the way, Eisenhower wasn't the only president who knew about this. Ronald Reagan was talking about this in 1987 in a speech. Look at this one.
We often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
So, we have another conspiracy theory, right? What do we know about conspiracy theories? What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth? Between 6 to 12 months, right? So, where do we start? So Project Bluebeam, this is a big one, and as I said, many organizations or government organizations or officials are involved in this one.
Have you heard of Project Bluebeam? It's a well-outlined conspiracy that suggests that the secret government is planning a New Age religion. Through technology and organizations like NASA, they will attempt to fake the second coming of Christ to create a one-world government. The theory suggests that the project would involve a virus outbreak, staged alien invasion, an artificial rapture, and a global-scale holographic projection of religious figures like Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad. Sounds familiar, isn't it? COVID and shot-down UFO balloons all seem very suspicious. So, did it start, and what is coming next?
So, that's Project Bluebeam in a nutshell, but we're gonna talk about it in more details. But before we do that, I'd like to talk about a little bit of NASA and their lies. Now, you might ask, why is it important? Because, as I said, they are part of it. So, United Nations, FBI, CIA, NASA, and others as well, all involved in this story. And this is not something came out yesterday or last year, you know, this is going on for a long time. We talk about decades here, if not longer. And here is a picture about Nixon talking to Apollo 11 on a landline phone, with a picture taken from the moon in the background. Take your time. Now, I did a little bit of research about this, and according to Google and Wikipedia, there was another mission before Apollo 11, that was Apollo 8, and according to Google and Wikipedia, they took this picture of the moon, which is on Nixon's wall. Okay. I never heard of this one, but maybe just my lack of knowledge, you know, so it's okay. But I have a couple of questions. Number one, how can the president at the end of 60s calling the moon from a landline phone from the White House? He's the president, maybe he can, okay, fine, all right, but it's already an interesting question. The other thing is that many people say and claim that, you know, it was staged, it was fake, and actually it was recorded here on Earth. And in a second I will show you a video about that and make your own decision. The other thing is that Apollo 11 and Neil Armstrong have their own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, that's for actors and for movies in Hollywood, right? Why is Apollo 11 and Neil Armstrong is on the Walk of Fame of Hollywood? Good question. Okay. The other interesting thing is that even today NASA says that the technology they used to go to the moon and to land on the moon has been lost. Oh, such a shame. Right? They lost it. And they couldn't reproduce it, they couldn't rebuild it, they also lost all the papers, all the plans, everything is lost, unfortunately. And we cannot go back to the moon, just yet, but they say it all the time, you know, sometimes you hear it in news here and there, that, oh, now, we will be there soon, we will be there soon. I hear it since my childhood, so, you know, just keep going, guys, I mean, for talking to the media. And the other one is, why is that NASA is producing and showing us so many fake videos? I mean, NASA is short for never a straight answer, if we want to look at it that way, but why are there so many fake videos? I shared some NASA videos or some like debunking NASA lies videos where you can see that basically the way they show you that there's no gravity in space, they filmed the whole thing in big swimming pools. And now I couldn't find those posts, they were posted a long time ago, so I can't show you in today's video. But they are out there, so if you do some research you will find them. So if everything is true that we've been told, then why do they need to fake these videos? So that's a good question, right? And I don't go into more details with that because that's a different storyline. And we talk about UFOs today, but I wanted to show you this one. So I'd like to show you two short videos, one about the moon landing and, you know, the famous saying, one small step for man. You will see that video how it continues. And another one is about an astronaut who's struggling a little bit. Let's put it this way. You will see it, and then we continue after and we will talk about Project Bluebeam, and I will show you some videos that will really be mind-blowing, and let's say this way we can prepare ourselves for what's coming, the big UFO invasion, because it's not just UFOs, it's much more than that, but we will continue in a second. Here are the two short videos.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap. So, I guess you want to do it again. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Washington.
No. Oh, he tried it. So, Project Bluebeam, as I mentioned, there will be 4 different steps, or there are, or it's already happening, we don't know, probably happening, because there are lots of info in the news, right? So step 1 will be about different earthquakes and fires. Sounds familiar? And during the rescue, after these earthquakes, for example, they will say in the news that they found really interesting new items that refers to alien civilizations and extraterrestrials before humans came to the Earth, for example. So that will be the first step, that they will already implement a little bit that, you know, we are not alone in this universe. Okay, by the way, I hope we are not, but not this fake way that they do it now, just to clarify. I hope we are not alone, because that would be really scary. But this way is what they want to do, is just fool us. So that's an important point. And you might ask, why is it important for me to talk about forest fires? Again, what to do with UFO attacks. But you see, we have technologies that they use to make these forest fires. We have technologies to modify the weather. I was talking about the HARP technology in an earlier video, which is a weather modification technology and quite advanced, so they can do temperature changes, they can do storms, they can do rain, they can do wind, they can make clouds, everything really. So that explains the earthquakes. But the forest fires, there are 2 answers to that, because it's not natural, according to conspiracy theorists. One is that they use drones that they can make huge fire. I shared also a video about that. But the other one, which is more important, is technology, which is energy weapon or laser weapon, directed energy weapon. And here is a short video when someone captured it. And basically, this is what they're gonna use also as part of the UFO story. And here is a short video for you where you can see how this weapon is used. You're not gonna see the weapon itself, just the final result, and then you can ask the question from yourself, why is that this fire burns cars but not trees, or burns trees but not houses. Here's the video, and then we continue with the other steps of Project Bluebeam. Interesting, isn't it? So, Step two. Step two will be about, it's gonna be a gigantic space light show, if you like, by using satellites and laser technology and all kinds of technologies to make us believe that something is approaching. So we're gonna look up the sky and, oh my gosh, what are these lights? Where do they come from? Oh my gosh. So that will be step two. And step three is one of the most interesting, but also quite difficult to understand because we don't know what they use exactly. But basically we talk about different technologies, again, hidden from us, creating telepathic two-way communication by using different frequencies, using so-called low frequency, very low frequency, and extra low frequency, and the combination of these, which will create an effect that it will reach people basically inside their head, inside our head. So with other words, they can make us believe that God is speaking to us from our soul or inside our head and so on. But this is why it's good if you are spiritual, because I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I understand religions and I respect them, but I'm spiritual. So, you know, if I will hear something in my head from God, I will be like, no, hold on, something is not okay. So that's one thing. And also, if you think about the Bible, how many times it was changed during history. So if you do a little bit of research, you realize that the Bible, 90% or 90+% of what you read in today's Bible is false, fake, is changed completely. And if there is anyone who's watching this and they are really religious, let me repeat it again. I have no problem with religion and God and all of that, but facts are facts, and the Bible was changed so many times. So, but respect, guys, everyone, all right? We all are one, and I love you all, so that's important. So yeah, this type of technology, and also if you do a little bit of research about MK Ultra or Operation Mockingbird, for example, just look at these things. You will understand how can they use psychological tricks and hypnosis tricks, for example, or hypnosis techniques, for example. So there's a lot of information behind this, but I'd like to go to step 4 because that's the most important. So holographic images, this is super important, and this is probably the most important part of my video. First of all, a little bit of history. I wanted to include this in today's video because you might know that I'm Hungarian. I was born there, I'm Hungarian, but I live in London. So the inventor of the hologram and the holographic technology or holographic method is Hungarian. His name is Gábor Dénes, as we say it, or as the English say, Denis Gábor, who is, as I said, Hungarian, a Hungarian physicist who invented hologram in 1971. And according to Wikipedia, they say Hungarian-British physicist, but I don't know why they say he's half British, because he was born in Hungary, his parents are Hungarians, he was a Hungarian, so his nationality was Hungarian, but indeed he died here in London. But it's not very important, you know, we're not gonna argue on this. I just wanted to mention, because it's something to be proud of as a Hungarian. So he's the one who invented it, and basically it was developed like crazy, and today we can make 3D projection anywhere on any surface or not surface. So even in the air you can project 3D stuff with sound, and it's just so unbelievable. And if you say it's not true, just stay with me because I show you the videos in a second. So as you heard in the short Project Bluebeam video, they talk about religious figures will appear on sky and they will come to us. Now here is a short one about Jesus. They already tested this technology, so this is important, and these are the test videos what I'm showing you today. So the first one is about Jesus Christ, and then we continue with something else. So back to Q again. Do you remember this one from the previous part? It's going to be biblical, the Great Awakening, Q. Now after watching this Jesus video, maybe this is why Q says this. I'm not sure, but check out the next one. Here is something on the sky. This was recorded in New Mexico, and maybe it's our technology. That's what I'm saying. And look at the next one, Pentagon. What do they have? Look at this. There is a cars there and something parking there, and then you can see that they fly together with normal airplanes. And here again, parking cars. Above that, the technology is there. And this is another one recorded by someone that big lorry is carrying this little beauty. So it's quite interesting. So we have a lot of technologies built by humans, not extraterrestrials, that are available, and we don't know how many they built up during the years already. So, you know, they will use holographic projections and this Bluebeam technology to project UFOs, combining with actual real technologies that are able to fly and so on and so forth to fool us. But let's see some other examples that you might have seen before on the internet about this 3D projection. I just want to give you a little bit of taste of what's possible with this type of technology. And this is a classic one. I'm sure many of you have seen this, the whale. And then we got more whale. And more whale. And then we got other animals. This was recorded in a stadium, as you can see. And what I mentioned before, that they have sound as well, not just the picture. So this is our little cat. And this one was in China, if I'm not wrong, also a test video. And as you can see, everyone is screaming. And then we got this one, these whatever lovely creatures. This is also Project Bluebeam and 3D projection. And as you could see already, this is an unbelievable technology. I've got 3 more videos for you. I'll leave the best to the end, which I'd like to show you. The first one is basically it was projected on a house, and you will see how mind-blowing that one as well. And the second one will be a video from last year's New Year's Eve, recorded in China, or at least a short part of it. And then after, I will show you the last one, which is probably the most mind-blowing in my opinion. But first, let's see this too.
Look
So before I show you the very last video, as I did in the previous two parts, I'd like to quote from Morpheus again. And I don't know when was the last time you've seen the Matrix movie, but if it was a long time ago, then maybe it's time to watch it again, because it will give you some more understanding or a different understanding. But here is what Morpheus said. What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. Morpheus. With other words, if you say, oh, this is so unbelievable, it cannot be real, Morpheus gives you the answer for that. And now, let's see the last video, which is actually about a UFO attack. And some people say, again, it's edited, it was in a game, it was in a movie, or whatever. Either way, I'm not saying that this was a Project Bluebeam test, but it might have been. And regardless if it's true or not, you already seen that they are able to create such reality or false reality for us. So here is the last video, and then I'll come back for a couple of more words. I know, right? Quite mind-blowing. So, just to summarize this whole thing, I hope I could give you some. I hope I could give you enough information, and I hope you're not gonna believe what's happening, because I can imagine lockdowns, you know, because we have UFOs. Don't leave your house because they're gonna take you. I can imagine that they will create false and fake stories in the news that, you know, they taken people, and then they will talk about how many people died because they were taken and all of that. Sounds familiar, by the way? How many people dies when there is some enemy? And as I said before, COVID was probably a test. And that was with an invisible enemy. Now you can imagine what's gonna happen if we have a visible enemy. Which again, they want to fool us this way. And if you ask what would be the purpose of this, and this is where the New World Order comes in, and the one world government idea and all of that. We have this huge threat outside of the world, so all the nations must unite, and this is how they want to create the one world government. But as I said before, it's not gonna happen, because we win and we already won. But this step will be played out, in my opinion and in my belief. So let's see what happens. But as Q said, enjoy the movie, enjoy the show, and grab some popcorn when it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna look like crazy, but I don't care. I just said what I said. So I hope you got some value. If there is just one person who got any value from this video, that it was worth it to record it, obviously feel free to share it, and especially this one, share it far and wide as much as you can. Drop me a comment, let me know what you think, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you for watching, I love you all, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you very soon in part 4. Stay blessed, bye bye.